the lawyers to find every deduction and loophole. We can't, I can't, most of you can't. I can't afford to pay $50,000 a year to accountants and lawyers to try to find all these deductions and loopholes. So the answer, though, if you want to fix that, get rid of the complicated tax code. Why can't every American fill out their taxes on a postcard like this?
Exactly.
Simplify the tax code. Get rid of all these deductions and loopholes that big corporations and wealthy individuals find. Get rid of them. If you really want the wealthy paying more, simplify the tax code. Simplify the tax code. But I'm going to say this: we're not broke. We're not $16 trillion in debt. And by the way, trillions, I don't understand trillions, do you?
No.
So let me tell you, what does that 16 trillion mean? It means every baby born in Bloomingdale in a hospital today, every baby coming out of the womb today has about $60,000 in debt on top of his or her head when they're born. Way to go, America. Way to go, America. That's a great present to give these newborn infants. So we get lost in the trillions. But look, we're not broke because Washington doesn't tax people enough. We're broke because Washington spends too much money. Period. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I totally agree with that. Washington does spend too much money. They're spending too much money, billions, I think, every month, on 2 illegal wars.
Yes.
Which we certainly didn't agree to. We certainly don't want to prolong, and yet on and on it goes. With all the concomitant horror of the mercenaries that we pay to so-called protect and inform and train these police forces in countries that never asked us to do that. We are also paying, I understood today, much to my astonishment, we pay $5.1 billion to private prisons for the detention of immigrants. Well, $5.1 billion, couldn't that pay to have them deported?
Yep.
But I'm not finished.
Keep going, you're on a roll, you're on a roll. Keep going. Keep going. Remind me of the $5.1 billion though. Keep going.
We've got to cut defense spending. Eisenhower said so. He said, watch it. He said, be careful of the defense military people. They are going to be a problem. We are spending treasure. We are spending the lives of our young people. Those who are fortunate enough to come home broken. Right. This is not a good system. This is not a good system. And my final...
All right, this is it.
My final, for the moment.
Just for the moment.
Just for the moment.
I want to respond to that.
Okay. Is that, and somebody else brought this up, about Exxon and the Bank of America and Chase paying Zippo in taxes. And I bet most of you spend more than Zippo in your taxes. Whether it was $20 or $15 or $100, whatever you paid in taxes, it was more than corporations that are making billions in profit. Now, as an ex-housewife who was a single mother with 3 kids, and I had to support these babies and get them through school and pay my mortgage and blah, blah, blah. What did I do when I was faced with this? I increased my income by getting 3 jobs, and I stopped spending on unnecessary things.
Okay, good. I'm going to stop you.
All right?
I'm going to stop you.
I'm
you could. And I wish, believe me, I've been in front of thousands. I wish people in their 40s and 30s and 20s were as engaged and passionate about these issues as you are. Because I just don't see it with younger people, and that makes me so sad. Couple quick points. So 5.1 billion to imprison illegal immigrants. Big number, right? Oh my God, why are we doing that?
To a private.
Okay, hold on. Hey, stop. Hey, do we have security in here? Okay? Point. Listen though, here we go. Your government today Your government today will borrow $4 billion, just today. Your government won't, that's not what your government will spend today. Your federal government will spend more money than that. Your federal government today will borrow $4 billion. So go ahead and close those prisons if you want. You'll pay for 1 day of what your government borrows. Point number one. Point number two, I have been on record for 1.5 years. Afghanistan, come home this afternoon.
Yes.
Come home.
Yes.
Yes.
We are now at a point in Afghanistan, think about this, how crazy, where the soldiers, the Afghani soldiers that we've trained are turning on us and killing our boys and girls.
Yes.
Come home.
Yes.
Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you come home from Afghanistan tomorrow, you'll say, right now we're spending about $110 billion a year. Come home, stop it. And you and I together, we could sit down and we could find 50 other examples of where government can spend money. But, and here's my big but. All important, some you and I will disagree on, but it's not the big thing. Here's the big thing this country had better get its arms around. Every day in this country, 10,000 Americans retire. Every day. You want to hear a really cool thing? These 10,000 that retire, they're not dying when they're 62 or 3 or 4. Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't, nobody here in here worrying. We're living till we're 92, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderful, glorious thing. The biggest and fastest growing part of what your federal government spends money on is health care costs for our aging population. You can come home from Afghanistan, you can make cuts here, there, wherever. You're talking about dimes and nickels. The biggest piece is health care for our aging population. Until this country figures out how to pay for this, we're still going to sink financially. I go back to what I said. I hope everybody knows this. Medicare, which is the biggest part of health care costs, it's going to be gone in 12 years if we don't touch it. Gone. Is there anybody in this room that wants that to happen?
Well, we used to get 12, but
Okay, so does everybody agree with me that we don't want that to happen? We have to try to come up with a way to preserve Medicare so that it's around for your kids and your grandkids.
Right.
Until we figure that out, guys, we're in a lot of trouble.
How could you resolve that problem if all the illegals get free benefits? I mean,
yeah.
where does that money come from?
No.
People here cannot get the aid that they get.
Again, very important issue. We give health care benefits and education benefits and welfare benefits to illegal immigrants in this country every year, especially in Illinois, that cost us billions. And again, as you and I were saying, this would be something you and I probably could agree on. We got to stop that. And I agree with you. And it's all important, and we've got to do it. But right now, we are falling off a cliff because we're talking trillions and trillions of dollars. When I told you that your country is $16 trillion in debt, that's not really true. If you add up our current Medicare and Social Security liabilities, it's like 80 to 90 trillion. This is where the real money is that will sink us. And so I know somebody was passing something around that said, that big mean Joe Walsh, he wants to take away your Medicare. You know what? If anybody this year, Republican or Democrat, is going to try to scare seniors, and that's all that is, they're going to try to scare seniors like we're going to take away your Medicare, shame on them. Read my lips, everybody. If we don't do anything to Medicare, it's gone. So it will end as we know it if we don't do anything to it. So to not do anything to Medicare is criminal. It's to let it die. I don't have time for silly politics like that, because I don't think you can scare seniors this year. Seniors understand that this great program is going to evaporate in 12 years unless we fix it. And oh, by the way, one other point. I'm almost talking too much. Even those big, bad, mean Republicans, here I am, big, bad, mean Republican. By the way, we're the only ones that have a plan to save Medicare. Obama didn't touch it. Oh God, he's not going to touch it. The Democrats are afraid to touch it. So here come Paul Ryan and the Republicans. We said, you know what? I know you're not supposed to touch Medicare because seniors are going to go after you, but doggone it, it's going to be gone in 12 years. So we put forth a plan. And you may not like our plan, but even we were so afraid of Medicare that we said if you're 55 or older, probably nobody in this room. Even Republicans said, if you're 55 or older, nothing changes. Nothing changes. If you're younger than 55, we got to come up with some changes or there won't be any Medicare for you. So if you're 55 or older, nothing changes under the Republican plan. Because we were so afraid of it. You were going to say
Whose
something.
plan is it that says that when you reach a certain age, after they take care of all the business, if you're 80 years old and over, there are certain tests that won't be available to you anymore?
Well, here's what I think.
I mean, you can just lay there and die. You can't get the help that you need.
Here's what I
At a
think.
certain age.
And I want to repeal Obamacare. If we don't repeal Obamacare, there's a 15-person unelected panel, part of Obamacare, that will make all Medicare decisions. So this unelected panel will make those decisions as to who gets tests and who doesn't.
Right.
And that's dead wrong.
That's wrong.
That's terrible.
And a lot of people don't realize that or know that.
Look, Obamacare will lead to rationing.
I have a last question.
Oh, go, yeah, I'm having fun with you. Go.
I was looking at the federal budget this morning, having nothing better to do.
Oh, were you bored?
Let me tell you. And I noticed that Medicare is 21% of the federal budget. That's a big hunk.
And growing.
And the other big hunk is, guess what? Defense. Now, my question or comment is this. We have the most powerful military in the world, not by 2, not by 3, not by 5, probably by 20 times the amount any other country in the world.
Cut it.
Okay?
I'm with you. You don't. Look,
Okay.
I'm someone who went to Washington, who's scared to death that this country I love is not going to be around for my kids or my grandkids.
Right.
We are spending too much money. Everything needs to be cut. Now, I believe in my government doing a few basic things, and one thing I want my government doing, our government, is protecting us. There are evil people around the world who are trying to kill Americans. I don't want us invading countries. Come home from Afghanistan. We always need a strong defense to defend Americans. But our Defense Department, like everything else, there is money that can be cut and there's spending that can be cut. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions, guys? You've been wonderful. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we already talked about most of the significant things here. And this is no reflection upon you, although you're part of the philosophy. But Romney's vision for America is, make your wealth in America. Everybody can do that. But the other part of it is hide it overseas. Let the middle class pay the taxes. I can't go with that. I was a Republican all my life. I prepared 25,000 tax returns over 50 years. All those people paid every dollar of tax that they paid. Hard working.
Everybody's hard. Most everybody.